HTTV in association with Illingworth and Gregory. Broms, you've been working with England's under-21s. Just talk us through the reasons behind that.
It just came from an invite from Adi Boothroyd, who's the manager of the 21s. So he invited me down to get involved in sort of their training, a lead up to a camp and a game. So obviously it was an offer I thought, I'd take and go down there and try and learn some of the processes they've got in place.
It's not just the training you've been looking at though, is it? It's more the psychologists and that end of it, and also the analysis team as well, what kind of work they do with the young players.
Yeah, so more, the structure that they've got, and could we take anything from it? Are they doing things that we're not doing? So the FA have invested massively into, learning cycles for players. So, I went down with, wrote all my notes and took as much as I could, and basically a spying mission to try and take as many things from them and see if we can put them in place here within the academy. I mean, some of the things they are doing is absolutely fantastic, which you can imagine, the investment that they've got into those players, and most of the players there are all Premier League players. So why wouldn't we take some ideas from them? So it was a good experience, and like I said, I'll be presenting back to all our staff and see if we can incorporate some of the things they're doing really well and put it in place here.
It's those little things, isn't it, that can take Huddersfield Town's academy in the 18s and the 23s obviously to the next level and help them push even further on towards the first team.
Yeah, I think so. I think expectations of the club now has gone up. What we're having to produce now, the level's gone up. So for us to get someone in the first team now, we're going to have to go out and look at what other people are doing and sort of put in place here and up our game a little bit. Because like I said, the level that we're playing at now is elite, and the challenge is for us to try and get someone near that.
Are there a lot of differences between what England are doing and what Huddersfield Town are doing?
I'd say some of the things are similar. A lot of things are similar. The resources obviously are fantastic down there. They've got money to spend, and the way they run it is, I would say, is top draw. Really enjoyed it. But what I would say is it's not far off what our first team do. We're doing some really forward-thinking things within the club. You can see that on the pitch. Don't look out of place in the Premier League. That's the work that the first team are doing. So we try steal as much from that as we can as an academy. We try to put all that into place to provide that for our players. And like I said, the stuff England were doing wasn't miles off what we would do. But we've got to try to put it in place here and improve what we are doing every day.
Like you say, now the process is to implement some of that into the academy. You'll sit down with the academy staff and then implement that into 18s, 23s regimes? Yeah,
definitely. And I think, one of the big things I learnt going down was the FA have been out to America and they do a lot of unit work. So for our players, young players especially, need to learn the position, so they'll break off and do defensive work and midfield work. We've got an opportunity now, especially with Mark Hudson dropping down, to do things like that. But we can link that to our first team, which is a model we will be looking at, and there were loads of ideas that we will be bringing back and trying to work on. But like I said, we've got loads of ideas from the first team that we can implement, and I think the club's going in the right way. Everything's becoming closer in terms of what David's doing and what he's feeding back down to us. So I think the club's in a good place at the minute.